life I'm living, still gon' hold this down. Every day on my life, yeah, nigga chasing cheese. And I'm saying niggas that be around there won't see all your feet. My mama been doing bad, but I ain't going into that. I done picked that girl up when I caught my first package. I be damn, me and my people hurting for something for a day. That shit happened, the next man ain't getting nothing. Fade to the root of evil, and that's my damn best friend. And I put that on my life, ain't nobody gon' fuck with him. You try to jam it, yeah, that ass getting chopped. Trying to serve ain't got no business on my block, I bet you getting chopped. Now either way you try to fuck with my balls, don't believe that ass getting chopped. Now what's this gonna be? You know how I played it all. That nigga burn me G, all by this bread. Bitch, I'm all about my bread, all by my bread. Bitch, I'm all about my bread, all by my bread. Now what's this gonna be? You know how I played it all. That nigga burn me G, all by this bread. Now bitch, I'm all about my bread, all by my bread. Now bitch, I'm all about my bread, all by my bread. Now bitch, I'm back in the mix. Them flaky niggas better stand down. Came home, got me some yam, I'm the man now. Niggas, some bitches all from my face, I ain't know who he is. Everybody up from my mix like I'm a hero and shit. Fall back, I'll buy a brick. Right now I'm on a mission, I'm giving you 2 for 20, got grams going for 50. Putting that in my pockets, the nigga you bullshitting. What the fuck you ain't listen? I done told you I got to get it. Nobody depending on me, so it's all mine. I ain't stressing out by myself, that's how it going down. My mama fighting her little dicks and she gon' be alright. Before I have a tweaking and begging, I put something up on the pipe. This is no fraction of my life, still all in for a lick. Lurking for fatty, looking for niggas to tone mix. Start to lurking if I'm hurting, different side come out. That flip shit, drop the Jacob, Mr. High come out. Gonna be, you know how I played it all. That nigga burn me G.
Welcome back to your favorite channel, the PBC, Pelican Bay's Corner, where I give it to you fair and unbiased, raw and uncut, like I always say. Some gonna like it and some ain't, you know. Hey, that girl asked me what my shirt said. I was at the store the other day. What did I say? Some gonna like it and some ain't, you know. It just is what it is out here, man. Got some news today. We got some dog talk. We're gonna talk about the black dog, a specific black dog that I seen them talking about on Facebook. Let me show you real quick. We're gonna talk about this dog right here. You know, it says GHK's black. I don't think that's going hard. I think that's another kennel that's initials that says GHK. But we're gonna talk about that dog, you know, and we're gonna talk about a few other topics in the dog community. And I want to do a little comparing and contrasting like I always do. I see the brothers say, what would you rather have, the Jocko, the Mayday? We're gonna talk a little bit about that, you know. But first thing I want to say is Paul Johnson, I appreciate you donating to the channel. I didn't catch it the other night, man. When you dropped down, I didn't catch it until after I was gone. It was too late. I just want to tell you thank you for donating to the channel, my brother. Big shout out to Country JR in the building. King took, King took Creative Cuts. Big shout out to you, my brother. Archie Fuller, shout out to you, man. Appreciate you dropping in tonight. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you dropping in. We ain't gonna be on here I ain't gonna do the whole 3 tonight. And I say that all the time and I end up being out here a long time. But I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing, get into it and get it over with tonight, you know. But what I wanna do first is give you some news that I just caught wind of. I seen a couple people talking about it on Facebook. Young lady, she purchased a dog from Facebook and the dog turned on her. You know, a pit bull rather. You know, so we're gonna listen to that article first. And then we're going to get into this pit bull talk.
Seriously hurt and attacked by dog she found on Facebook 3 weeks ago. A woman was left needing surgery after being mauled by her dog, which she had adopted on Facebook 3 weeks earlier. Charlotte Potts, 32, adopted the 1-year-old Cane Corso Cross American Bulldog from a breeder on Facebook. Initially, the dog, called Blue, settled in. Well, and Charlotte says he didn't show any aggression towards her and her family, but on her routine walk on Saturday morning, July 4th, Blue turned on Charlotte and attacked her, sinking his jaws into her legs after ripping through her trousers. She called for her younger brother, 8, to run and leave the enclosed dog park and call for help whilst Blue continued to attack her. The dog then went for Charlotte's right arm, which she allowed him to do while she used her left arm to tie his lead to a fence. The whole ordeal lasted around 8 minutes, and Charlotte was taken to hospital by ambulance whilst the dog was euthanized by the police. Charlotte, a personal trainer from Hexham, Northumberland, said, "I was trying to wrestle him off me and shouting for help. I was in there for 7 or 8 minutes with him attacking me. If I was there any longer, I wouldn't have made it. My little brother watched it all happen. It felt like a really long time. I didn't think I was going to get out of there. There's 6 levels of dog bites and 6 is fatal. This one was level 5. I love dogs, but I want to raise awareness around making sure dogs are fully assessed before being rehomed." Charlotte had had experience with similar breeds, an American Bulldog Cross Mastiff, before she adopted Blue. She said, "I've just lost my large similar breed that I had for 8 years from 7 weeks old, so I had experience with these breeds. Everything was fine initially. He settled in well. He was fine on everyday walks and hadn't shown any aggression towards dogs or children beforehand. He was getting 4-mile walks a day, so it was a big shock when it happened." Around 9 a.m., Charlotte took Blue to the enclosed park she always had with her younger brother. They were playing around with his ball when Charlotte threw it, and instead of running for the ball, he went straight for her legs. She said, "I went down there at 9 a.m. with my little brother. He was fine playing with the ball, and then when I chucked the ball, he looked at it and then looked at me and came running for my leg. I screamed at my brother to get out the gate, and before he had got out the gate, he ripped through my tracksuit bottoms and punctured my right leg and then punctured my left leg a few times. I was screaming. I lost a lot of blood." Paramedics arrived on scene, and Charlotte was blue-lighted to the Royal Victoria Infirmary in Newcastle and underwent a 2-hour-long surgery to address her wounds on her legs and arm. She was in hospital for a couple of days before being cleared to leave and now has to have regular wound dress changes. She added, "The armed response team arrived, and he wouldn't calm down, so he was euthanized. I had surgery on Saturday, and I need to go back 2 times a week to get it looked at. He pierced my bicep muscle and pierced bits of my thigh. I'd still be in hospital if it wasn't for my partner Rachel, and without my kickboxing background, I don't think I'd have been strong enough to fight him off." In the weeks before the attack, police visited Charlotte after receiving an anonymous tip-off that she owned an XL bully. They determined that Blue was an American Bulldog by taking a photo of his head, and as a result, did not take him away.
All right. First thing I do want to say is they got the article down as a pit bull, and the man said this is a Cane Corso Bulldog mix, you know. And I always say that, man. Tony, what's going on, brother? John Demery in the house. Trevor Laley, what's going on, my brother? And Street Rossi in the building. You know, I always say this, man. The mixed breed dogs, you can't predict them. I don't care if you got them 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. You never know when one side of that dog gonna pop out when you talk about mixing these dogs. You know what I'm saying? And these dogs become dangerous when you mix them. See, they can say what they want to say about these brothers that's fighting their dogs and this and that. But one thing they are doing, and the tree huggers, they talk all kind of shit they don't know what they're talking about. One thing these brothers is doing, they're keeping the dogs pure. You know, they're keeping them pure. And that's one thing we're going to talk about tonight, you know, as far as this pedigree we're going to be looking at. You know, they're keeping it pure. And when you keep it pure, you can kind of predict the dogs. You know, if the dog not, you know, if it's a dog that you just got, you got to watch them dogs regardless, you know. But a dog that you raise up or a dog that you have for several months, you know, you kind of can predict them things when you're dealing with a pure American Pit Bull Terrier, you know. But like Street Rossi said, man, when you're getting these dogs from the animal shelter, that's one of the most dangerous things to do when you're getting, because they're going to tell you this a pit bull. That's why that pit bull term, that blanket term is so dangerous. You don't need a dog to be called pit bull that's 8 different dogs. You need a pit bull to be one dog. That way, if you go to adopt this dog from the shelter, you know this is a mixed breed, this or this, that. It's not a pit bull. It's mixed with this and it's mixed with that. It's not a pit bull. So you know you liable to get any type of temperament from this dog. You know what I'm saying? She said she took the dog out for a regular walk and the dog just turned on her. You know, and it's crazy, man. It's crazy out there. Like I always say, when things like this happen, it's not a point finger thing as far as this breed did it or that breed did it. It's always trying to practice responsibility. In this case, she didn't make any bad moves. She just took the dog out to play, threw the ball, walking the dog, and the dog turned on her. You know, in these situations, the fault need to go back on these animal shelters. You know what I'm saying? Because you're giving these people, you're cutting their nuts off for one. You're spading and you're neutering the dog. You automatically you're screwing with their hormones. You know, now you're screwing with a dog hormones, and now you got a mixed breed dog. That's double the punch, and you sending it out here to people. That's double the punch that this dog may do something later on down the line. What if that dog would have grabbed her little brother? You know, it probably would have been a whole different story that we given. He probably, you know, couldn't fight him off like she had. She said she had a little kickboxing experience. Maybe that helped her. You know, so man, it's just crazy, man. And these shelters don't make it no better. See, back in the 90s, that damn neuter and spade thing wasn't in play like it is how it is now. You know, if you wanted to get them neutered and spayed, maybe you could have did it, but you could adopt dogs from the dog shelter and it was fully intact, you know, at least back in the days when I was dealing with the dog shelter. You know, they were fully intact. But man, now they try to make it like they helping the community by neutering and spading these dogs, but really it's making you adopting out dogs that's gonna have more temperamental problems. You know, you screwing with their hormones and then you giving it to people who may think you can't have no experience on a mixed breed dog. You know, I can have experience, 10 years experience with a pit bull terrier. I can have experience with a Rottweiler, a Doberman Pinscher, a German Shepherd. I can have experience with bull terriers, bulldogs, but you can't have experience on mixed breed dogs because you don't know what you're getting. You know what I'm saying? There's no chart to say, oh, these dogs are like this or these dogs are like that. You don't know what you're gonna get. So you can't have experience with mixed breed dogs. You know what I'm saying? Every dog is gonna be totally different that you get that's mixed all up. You know, every single one of them. Oh, this one, he was happy-go-lucky for 5 years, you know, but the next one, you know, oh, I got experience with, and I say this as well, cane corsos, they should never be mixed with these other dogs. You're mixing them with pit bulls. Pit bulls are the nanny dogs. Pit bulls, for the most part, pit bulls are friendly for the majority of them. When you start taking these dogs and you mix them with other dogs, you get different temperaments. And you don't need to get a different temperament in a dog that's so strong and so could be so ferocious as the pit bull. You know, it's if I take a, I'm just gonna use this example, and it won't happen because of the size difference. You know, but if I take a pit bull, a dog that's majority, you know, for the majority is friendly dog, and I mix it with a Chihuahua, I'm sending somebody a dog that's gonna hurt somebody. You know what I'm saying? Because the temperament in that one little small dog, you know, is way different than the big dog. And then if you can somehow or another get puppies off them two dogs and give it to somebody, man, you're gonna get somebody hurt, man. You know, just breeding. Some dogs don't need to be mixed. German Shepherds don't need to be mixed. Pit Bulls don't need to be mixed. You know what I'm saying? For sure, I know that for sure. You got mixed breed German Shepherds, they biting people all across the country. You know? But yeah, man, I just wanted to speak about that little bit of news. Now that we got that news out the way, you know what I'm saying? Flip Wilson, what's going on? Simba Blood, yes sir, my brother, yes sir. You know, I've been dealing with them dogs all my life, outside of the Crossroad dogs, which was the toe jam stuff like that. Been dealing with them dogs, them kind of dogs. You know, so yeah, man. Got a lot of experience with them dogs. Now, this the dog that's we talking about tonight. And we're going to talk about, like I said, the Barracuda and Jocko stuff as well. But I seen this on Facebook. You know, I'll be kind of nosy sometimes and start looking at stuff. And they said, you know, like I said, this says GHK's Black. That's the dog name, Black. And he's black in color. This pedigree was posted in 2006. And like I said, I don't think this is Going Hard Kennel. I think this is somebody else with their initials says GHK. All right, now as I look at this pedigree, we see us a nice looking black pit bull up here. Okay, now as I look at this pedigree, and like we said before, you know, two red dogs don't generally produce a black dog. Now, if anybody that want to send me, because my brother had texted me a little earlier and said he got a black dog off two chocolate dogs they bred. I would like to see the pedigree of them dogs. Any dog that y'all say that produce black off red dogs, I like to see the pedigree of. Because we about to look at the pedigree of this dog, and it's something that really caught my eyes. You know, something that really caught my eyes. First thing, I'm looking at this dog here. You can't tell how his structure is because he got his ears clipped or whatever, as far as his head, his ears and stuff like that. But it's a good looking dog. We see a good looking red nose. All right. And I'm going to say this, just because we come to one conclusion, or we may come to a conclusion in this particular topic, it don't mean the person, whoever GHK is, actually did this breeding as far as knowing what the dog's coming off of. Somebody might, he just purchased a dog. Then, you know, we don't know where the cross was made at, but we just gonna talk about it for a few minutes. All right, we see this dog here. This is the sire to that black dog, supposedly. All right. See a red dog. This is the dam to that black dog. Her name is what? Red Tasmania. All right, that's the sire. I mean, that's the dam to her. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna check out I'm gonna go through her pedigree and I'm gonna go through the sire's pedigree, and we're gonna look at all the ones with pictures, and we're gonna see where does black come from. You know, so we seen the sire and we seen the dam. So let's go back to the sire and let's go to his sire, Crimson Tide. Now, in my opinion, just my opinion, my opinion don't really matter, you know, like that all the time. Just sometimes I voice it. This pedigree was posted in 2001, you know, when the database came up, when the database started back in the days. Just my opinion, this dog here don't look like a game dog. And that's just my opinion. This dog look like a bully, like a UKC dog. That's just my opinion. Now, what Yellow One and the boys told me a while back, that purple ribbon don't mean show dog, it mean something about the UKC paperwork. Now we see purple ribbon all through this. They told me that means something about the UKC paperwork as far as the dog could be traced back to something. I don't want to say the wrong thing, but it didn't have anything to do with shows, you know. But just my opinion, looking at this dog right here now, this don't look like your Eli type of dog, your Mayday type of dog, or your Kobe type of dog, or you know what I'm saying? It looks like a UKC staff type dog, like a bully type dog. Not even gonna say staff, it looked like a bully type dog. You know, I had some of these type of dogs in the 90s, about 3 or 4 of them. And this is what them dogs look like, this type of dog here. But we're not finished yet, you know? We're not finished yet. We ain't even got started. So that's the sire to that black dog. All right, and we looked at his sire. We're gonna look at his dam. That's the dam to the red dog. Not the dam to the black dog, but the dam to the sire. So right now we two generations of red noses in right now, you know. So we see this black dog, we see his daddy red nose, his mama red nose. We see his granddaddy is a red nose, his grandmama a red nose on the top side. Now let me go back, I'm gonna go a little bit further to his great granddaddy. Another UKC looking dog, you know, another staff looking dog or some other kind. This dog don't look like your Mayday style, your Grand Champion Yellow style, your Jeep style pit bull, you know. But it's a red nose, needless to say, red nose. But this dog look like your Mayday style dog or your Jeep dog or your, this dog here got a totally different structure than the dogs we looking at. You see? These don't look like the same kind of dogs. You know? All right, so that's the great granddaddy. All right, still red nose. Let's go to the great grandmama. Still red nose. She look like she can be off of a game line of dogs, but she's still red nose. So we 3 generations back into the 3rd generation from that black dog. We got red noses from the dam and the sire, and right now we in the sire's pedigree in the 3rd generation, and we still got all red noses. Now let's go to the next one in the sire's pedigree. No picture on that one, but the color, it says black on the color right here. It does say black on the color. This was entered in 2001. All right, and that's the Palooka dog. Let's go to this Scarlet. It says UKC. It says UKC on it, on the pedigree thing, actually. Right there. All right, so that's automatically going to be another red flag to let me know that somewhere or another something ain't right with that black dog. Because that black dog don't look like the kind of dog that these dogs are. That black dog look like it come off of an Eli dog or a Jeep dog or Red Boy Jocko or whatever they're coming off of, but he got a whole different structure. I know everybody down in the chat can see exactly what I'm talking about. This dog here is your typical UKC looking dog. This is a great looking show dog for the UKC. Great looking dog. That's how they look. You know, red nose, needless to say. All right, and we in the 3rd generation on the top side. Let's go to the 4th generation on the top side of this black dog. Another red nose. Another red nose. And we ain't seen a dog yet out of the pictures that we seen that look like that black dog structurally wise. But we got another red nose. So let's go down to this PR's Prindle's Maggie dog. No picture. All right, let's go down to the Richard General's Fremont. No picture. Let's go to Miss Mandy. Okay, we got a Brindle dog. Okay, this is a Brindle red nose. If you really look, let's blow it up. Blow the picture up. It says Brindle. Well, actually, we can't tell if it's a red nose or not because it's kind of a little play with the camera. It's a little play with the camera's old picture, and plus, you know, you can see how it got a little glare or something. It looked like it could be a red nose, but we give it a benefit of the doubt. It could be a black nose as well. You know. All right. So we still on the top side. Now let's go to this Tough Town dog, red nose, red and white, red nose. Now all the other dogs that we pulling up, the previous dogs that we just showed, they look like they could have come off this dog, but not the black dog. All right, and we see the Hempfield Geronimo and stuff in there now. We starting to see the Geronimo dog and the Hempfield dog. All right, and the Heinzel stuff in the background. And we got Wilson's Pretty Boy down at the bottom. You know. All right. Our thing is we just trying to see where this black come from. This the dog that's in question. As you see, like I said before, this particular dog that we're looking at is your typical game looking dog from the modern day times. Every dog that we pulled up in his pedigree is your fat, chunky, UKC bully looking dogs. Let's go down. Here goes one more, the last one on the top side that we're going to look at. Then we're going to go to the bottom side. Okay. Another red nose. So right now in the top, you see how many red noses we got? So this dog is a red dog. Red nosed dog. You know, we 4 generations deep into this dog right now. Now on the bottom side, we done seen Tasmania. Let's check out Ozzy. We on the bottom side checking out her 4 generations. Rednose, it got his color right there. It don't got a picture, but it got Rednose. Okay. Rednose for the next one. Right here. So far on the dam side, we got 2 red noses in the 2nd generation. As we go to the 3rd, we got this dog here says Red Raider. We know that's a red nose. We got Del Santiago's Red Rosie. We know that's a red nose. Del Santiago's Ozzy. We just looked at that. That was a red nose. Jody's Red Roxy. That's a red nose. You know, the name just speaks for himself. You know, I don't gotta, even if I don't see a picture, the name speaks for himself. Red Roxy is not gonna be a black dog. All right. Now we in the 4th generation. We got Red Buzz. We got Hempfield's Ace. We know what color that is. This don't got no color on this one. Red Raider again. Red Rosie again. Red Devil. Know what color that is. And Red Squall. So out of this whole pedigree, I got one dog that says it's black. One dog that says it's black out of this whole pedigree. Now we got 16 dogs in the 4th generation. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 dogs in the 3rd, 4 dogs in the 2nd. So that's 2, 6, 14 plus 16. That'll be what? 30. 30 dogs all together in this whole pedigree. All right. Out of 30 dogs, you got 1 black dog. That's the color says black, and 1 dog that look like it's brindle, and the rest of the dogs red nose. So you got 28 damn red noses in this pedigree. And 2 other color dogs. Suspect in the 3rd generation, they say it's a black one, which is the Palooka dog. And then the brindle dog we seen somewhere else. That brindle color dog. We weren't sure what color that one was. Now you telling me that that's gonna give you this? You know, and no disrespect to the brother who dog this is, whoever know the kennel or camp dog this is, no disrespect. And I'm not trying to say that y'all are paper peddling, you know, but it's what I say, and the reason why I say these pictures are very important in these online pedigrees. You know, you could tell a whole bunch by looking at a picture of a dog. You know, you could tell a whole bunch, man. You know, this pedigree right here, a lot of these dogs in this pedigree don't even look like game dogs to me. You know, they look like they could be bullies, Staffordshires. You know, and like I said, I had the Staffordshire type dogs back in the 90s as well. You know, I even told a story where I bred one of the ones that I had. She wasn't shaped like that. She was more muscular and shorter. You know, like a Staffordshire Bull Terrier look. But she had nice looking ears and she was scrapping. I bred her to my male that came down off that Cottenham Sheba stuff. Nope, the Cottenham Ginger stuff. You know. And that's the story I told y'all about. My neighbor dog came and jumped on him and screwed him. And I went out there and put the dog down. Instead of should have kept the dog, I put her down. You know, just thinking fast and doing dumb shit as a young buck. I was a teenager then. But from looking at this dog, man, I don't see where this come from. You know, and like I said, I'm not trying to throw no salt on the people who used to own the dog or none of that type of stuff. You know, we're just looking at the pedigree, man. Just looking at the pedigree. It just don't fit in. This is a good looking dog here. Now, if you say this is a Boudreaux dog, I can go with that. You say this was a Tom Garner dog, I can go with that. And some type of Jeep dogs, I can go with that. And like I said, we even have had black Walkamo dogs since we bred to the pedigree that I told y'all the other day, the Paladin Frisco stuff. I can go with that. But I can't go with this pedigree that's down here to say that it produce a good looking dog like this. And all these dogs in the pedigree look good. They just look good in their own right, in their own way. They don't look good to where, oh, this dog here just fit in this family. And if you in the game, you need to be able to distinguish the difference between this kind of dog and these other kind of dogs. You know, you need to be able to look at these dogs and tell, not this one. This is the only one that kind of look like it could be a game dog with the ears clipped. Like this dog. You need to be able to tell this dog from your dog that you was looking at just a few minutes ago. And see, I did think when I saw the name Deacon, I thought it was going to lead me to some of that old Deacon stuff. I thought it was. When I seen the little Deacon up there, I thought I was going to see Deacon in the background, but I don't see it. I do see the Hempfield Geronimo, you know. And I'm not going to lie, some of them Hempfield dogs back in the days was UKC registered, you know. They were UKC registered. I had a Hempfield dog that was UKC registered off the Geronimo stuff back in the days. So I'm not going to, completely say that just because they UKC registered, they're not game dogs or nothing like that. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say this is not a game dog because he's got his ears clipped, slim him up a little bit. He might change his whole look on him. You know what I'm saying? He looked damn good like that. He looked damn good, but he just don't look like he the sire of or in this dog hip pedigree. You know, don't look like it, man. So you gotta just know how to catch this stuff, man. And there's no telling if this brother even seen how these dogs looked when he purchased this dog as a puppy or whenever he got this dog. You know, all this stuff we're looking at now is more modern with modern technology and all this stuff. You know, people could be put pictures up as the years went on. You know, the dog could have been, this dog that we actually talking about could have been passed away. And they start putting pictures up of the dogs in the background and pedigrees, putting pictures up. You know. But I will say this. You know, this dog right here would have had to been registered through UKC. He wouldn't even been able to have AKC papers. ADBA papers. I don't think. Looking at the dogs in the pedigree, he would have had to been registered UKC. Now, whether AKC accept UKC dogs, ADBA accept UKC dogs, I don't know. Back in 06, I don't know. But it just looked like, whoever purchased this dog got fooled, got a trick played on him. And like I said, I could be wrong. Could be wrong. But I don't see a black dog coming out of all these damn red dogs we got right here. And then we talking about Hempfield wilder dogs way in the 5th generation. We talking about strong red nose genes in them Hempfield dogs. Strong red nose genes. Where that black coming from? This one damn black dog right here in the 3rd generation that the color say black. Even this dog coming down off all these Hempfield dogs. But all of them purple ribbon on the bottom side. See if we can find any on the bottom side of this dog right here. That dog there named Blondie, so we know what color she is. Ruby. This way in the back, red noses. Yeah, man. You just got to be careful, man, because brothers will get you. Brothers will get you out here, man. Not saying that these guys right here were trying to do anything shyster, shady, or anything, you know. I was just, like I said, I was just being nosy, seeing what brothers was talking about on Facebook, and this the dog they was talking about. And I had to look at the pedigree. And when I seen the pedigree, I was astounded, you know. Now, somebody did make a statement and said it could have been a double sire breeding, you know, dual male breeding. Now, I thought about that. But what I say about that is it could have been a dual male, a dual registry, dual sire breeding. But if it's dual sire, it's still the wrong pedigree up under the dog. They need to put pedigree that goes to this particular puppy. If I breed my female to two different males, one set of puppies gonna have this pedigree, and the other set of puppies gonna have this pedigree. Same bottom side, different top side. You know. So before we get off of this, two things I see. No structure compared to the dogs in the pedigree. Different structure rather. Every dog in this pedigree structure look different than this dog. That's one red flag. And then the other red flag is all them dogs, 28 dogs out of 30 is Rednose, and you got a black dog in the damn pedigree. I mean, a black dog out there, you know. So we gonna move on from that, man. I want to say this as well. There's a difference between buying champions from somebody and making champions from somebody. You know, I'm gonna give you all the props in the world for making a champion, but I ain't gonna give you the props for buying a champion. You know, some of the big name breeders, I ain't want to call their name, you know, right now or whatever. Everybody have did it before. You know, everybody have done it. You know, I've bought dogs that already had wins on them or whatever. But you can't get the props from buying a champion that you didn't make champion. You know, you know, I'm gonna still recognize that dog as the champion he is, but I can't brag about him when it comes to me bragging about my credentials. I can't brag about the credentials of owning a champion. I gotta brag about the credentials of making a champion. You know. Yes, sir. Appreciate you dropping in, Flip Wilson, man. I appreciate you dropping in. Yes, sir, brother. Gotta get that dollar, man. Gotta get that dollar. Now, Papa Rico, let's see what Papa Rico said. So the topic is red making black almost worthless conversation, seeing only way one can say yes is if they built a family of 5 generations. Now, we common sense tell us, and that's why I say if a brother want to show me where they got a black dog off of 2 red dogs, send me the pedigree. And that way I can look at the pedigree. You know, I'm not going to say it don't happen. What I'm saying is you can get a red nose off 2 black dogs easily. You're not getting no black dog off 2 red dogs easily. And I'm talking about true red nose dogs. You're not going to get that. You know, you're not going to get it. I don't care if you know, I'm going to say it like this, right? You know how the walk stuff bred, the Walkmouth stuff. And I told you that we bred to the Paladin Frisco stuff before. All right. Now, if Mellow Yellow them had some of that Paladin Frisco stuff in their background, and they already, and it's not coming, it's not, they mother is not directly off that shit, you know, and it's in their background, they 5th and 6th generation. Knowing how they bred, all red dogs is buckskins and black and brown nose dogs. Ain't no black dog popping up in my damn puppies. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no black dogs popping up in my puppies. Them red dogs genes are strong in the true red dogs. You know, when I say red, I mean red nose, buckskin red nose, orange red nose, like your macho buck color, your brick color red, like you know, your rust color red. You know, no man, you're not gonna, you know, you're not gonna get no black, man. See, your brother tried to fool us one time before. Let me pull this dog up for you. See, and this something Ma can't try to fool folk with back in the days. Let me pull this dog up. Pelican Bay, JD Hall. All right. This dog here, you look in his pedigree, it got two unknowns right there. That's because they was erasing some dogs or whatever. All right. But this is what I need to actually see though. Damn. I need them unknowns to show up. Let me see if I can find another one. Let me see if that should have pull up for Red Lady. Let me see if it'll pull up for. Let me see if it'll pull up. All right. This is what I need you to see right here, right? You look at this pedigree here. Everything in the whole pedigree is Mayday or Red Boy Jocko stuff. Let's check out this Stonewall Princess dog. That's your STP buck. STP buck, STP buck, STP buck. So you know what kind of dogs them is. You know, yellow buck, Nico, you know what color dogs. 357 right there, you know what color dogs them is. You know, all right. The rest of the dogs, you got Stone Man. Let's look at his color. Brown. Let's look at his pedigree. Mayday stuff, yellow, Mayday, deadlift, all them dogs. All right. Now, you're not supposed to breed this dog right here back to hog and get no damn Rottweiler color dogs. And then you're not supposed to tell me that this Rottweiler color is popping up from Bull Boy Bob. Ain't nobody right now in this damn country, if you ain't got no line bred Bull Boy Bob stuff that's line bred or Bull Boy Bob from top to bottom, man, I'm gonna tell you right now, you know, if your dogs ain't got them colors in these generations right here where I'm circling, that shit ain't popping up in your damn dog. You know what I'm saying? All that 5th generation popping up in this dog, man, that shit ain't popping up. Now, and hell, it was never no Rottweiler color damn dog in the pedigree. You go all the way back to Bull Boy Bob, he black, he not Rottweiler color. That's more genes you gotta have. It's a certain gene you gotta have in your dog to even have them Widow Peak eyebrows. Not saying the Bolio dogs don't got that gene. The Bolio may have that gene in them. Cause I seen some Bolio dogs that kind of resemble that. But the excuse that was given to us was that color was coming from Bull Boy Bob. That just, when you got breeders telling you this type of shit, that's breeders not respecting your game. Breeders not respecting your dog game, thinking you don't know shit, and they gonna tell you this any damn thing just to get the money out your pocket and get you out their damn face. You know, that's what these pedigrees for. I learned to read these pedigrees about. That shit don't happen, man. Ain't no black dogs in the whole damn pedigree. And I got a black dog in 2020, 2022, 2023. A black dog. No, man. That shit don't work. And let me show you what the dog. Let me see if I can find hog offspring to find the dog. Cause it was Connor's sister. I want to say it was Connor's sister. Let me see if I can find Connor up here. And then you're gonna see he got the damn 70 Arab boomer in him. Even more. So you telling me you take this dog right here as a female, you take this dog as a female and breed it back to hog. As a female now, Pit Island Jr., Boomer Jr., 70 Arab Boomer, 70 Arab Boomer, bottom side of the fourth, 70 Arab Boomer, STP Buck, Grand Champion Yellow, Jesse James Ride, Southern Kennels Lady Dog. You already know what that's coming off of. Chico Lopez Damien, Southern Kennels Yellow Girl, Land Force Barracuda, and Damien again. And you telling me if I breed this dog to hog, which all these pedigrees is coming down off of on the top side, the same thing, and I take this dog and breed it back to hog, I'm gonna get black dogs and gray color dogs with Willow Peak eyebrows? Hell no. Something else hit that dog on the yard. And you ain't being truthful with these brothers at the time, but they want to say Pelican Bay trolling and this and that. Nah, Pelican Bay know how to read these damn pedigrees. And I ain't, at the end of the day, I'm just gonna give it to you how I give it to you. Some gonna like it and some ain't. Motherfuckers wanted to call me names because I'm telling you the real with the pedigree, giving you the real. I can read this shit. I ain't gonna be just stupid and dumbfounded, and because you a big breeder, I ain't sucking your dick, motherfucker damn happy to be dealing with you. This shit don't belong, dog. I don't know what you did, but this shit don't belong with what you gave me. You know what I'm saying? Like I always tell brothers, stop being starstruck with these folk out here. Talk like you talk to your boy around the corner when you talking to these damn dog breeders with these big kennel names. You start talking to them motherfuckers like you're scared and all kind of bullshit. And they gonna treat you like that. Something came on the yard. You right about that, Early James. You ain't lying about that shit. Something came on the yard. And guess what? He had dogs on his yard. He had dogs on his yard with them Rottweiler colors. So and the dogs look good at that time when we was talking about them dogs looked at I'm talking about structure wise and color wise, they looked good, but they didn't belong with this pedigree right here. And like I said, this is a male dog that my boy got or had rather, which is JD Hog Daddy, but it was this dog's sister, little mate's sister, bred back to hog. So you can see the pedigree right now. It ain't no way no fucking black dog should have popped up in no damn pedigree. And then you talking about come back from Bull Boy Bob. We talking going past Mayday. We gotta let me check Mayday pedigree. Let me check Mayday pedigree. Bull Boy Bob might not even be in this damn pedigree, and he's saying it come down off the Bull Boy Bob shit. Let me check Mayday. See if he got any Bull Boy Bob in him. Mayday don't even got no damn Bull Boy Bob in him. So where the fuck is the black Rottweiler colors coming from? Now I can accept the Willow Peak eyebrows coming from Bolio. I can accept that. There go Bull Boy Bob right there. He got Bull Boy Bob in him. Yeah, he got it in him. Bull Boy Bob and Mayday 4th generation. I'll guarantee you on everything I love that Mayday could never breed. Mayday himself could never breed with a red boy dog and get black dogs from it. I'll put my whole kennel on it. Like Mr. Boudreaux said about that stuff that he was talking about when we watched that video the other day. I'll put my reputation on it. Mayday will not breed with no fucking other dog that's red boy Jocko or red boy and get a black dog. It just ain't gonna happen. And we talking about Mayday himself, not Mayday. You see how far this damn dog is that we looking at? Bull Boy Bob and Mayday 4th. We at Damien. Then we talking about this dog right here. Damien and this dog 4th generation. So Bull Boy Bob will be in this dog right here 5th generation. So that's 9 generations that he got to go to get to this dog right here. And all them buckskin red dogs and all them buck dogs and red boy Jocko dogs and red boy dogs, all them genetics up in there. And you telling me a black dog gonna fucking pop out? Man, get the hell out of here. Hell no, man. It ain't gonna happen. No, it just ain't gonna happen. Now, let's move on to this Mayday and Jocko talk. Mayday and Jocko, which one would you rather have one off of? Mayday or Jocko? I don't know why y'all brothers be, a good conversation is good conversation. I understand why you put the stuff like that on Facebook. Oh, I want to say this before I get deep into that. Boy, I don't understand how y'all boys doing this illegal shit with these dogs and then posting all this shit on Facebook. I ain't even gonna say the names because you know what names I'm talking about. You're posting all this shit on Facebook and then wonder why your ass get jammed up. You know what I'm saying? Every time I give you a damn news article with somebody that got jammed, they talking about Facebook groups and this and that, and this and that. Then the first little bit of dog news y'all motherfuckers hear, you go to posting the shit on fucking Facebook. I mean, if you're gonna post it on Facebook, you might as well come on my channel and talk about it. You know? Shit. Folk been safer talking, at least we talk about stuff from the golden age. Y'all get on Facebook and talk about shit from modern day time. But anyway, Mayday Jocko, which one would you rather have one off of? I'm gonna go ahead and give you my answer right now off top. I'd rather have one off Jocko. Myself personally, because Mayday himself, Mayday didn't make a dog. To this day, he ain't made a dog that made a difference. The way Jocko produced them dogs that made a difference. When I'm talking about when his crosses, when he made his crosses. To this day, Mayday ain't made a dog that made a difference like Grand Champion Yellow made a difference with Jocko and his background. He bred 1,000,000 times. We see the pedigree, and this ain't even all. This ain't even close to being all of them. Look at her. Victor was breeding that motherfucker. Boy, look at what? Boy, look at that. Look at them dogs, them offspring he got. Damn. Look at that, boy. Good looking damn dogs too, boy. I ain't gonna lie to you. Good looking damn dogs. Boy, like I said, this is my opinion right here. I'd rather take me one coming down off of Jocko. Because it didn't take much it's not like it was a whole bunch of crosses that made a Grand Champion Yellow. It was only one cross, a female off of Jocko. So if I got me a female off Jocko and I bred it to the right dog, or a male off Jocko and I bred it to the right dog, I could change history like Grand Champion Yellow changed history in the American Pit Bull Terrier game. Mayday ain't had an offspring that changed history the way Yellow changed history. He got a bunch of great dogs. Barracuda 9-timer, they say. Luke Kane, this dog and that dog and this dog and that dog. But Mayday can't get the credit himself when Yellow spent the gene down to Mayday. Yellow the one put the genes in him so he can damn produce like that. And that come from Jocko and Red Boy together with Yellow John. Now, would I rather have a dog off Yellow John or a dog off Jocko? That's another question. Would I rather have one off Yellow John or one off Jocko? I'd probably rather have one off Yellow John. But I can't take nothing from neither one of them dogs. We got Green Sandy, another super important dog. That's double bred Jocko, bred back to his sister. Important dog that you see in a lot of pedigrees, Green Sandy. So I can't say that Yellow John is going to produce better than Jocko because it took both of them to make this dog here. But I know when it comes to Mayday and Jocko, I would rather have Jocko myself, the Jocko offspring off of Jocko, directly off of Jocko. Let me see if What other offspring Miss Jocko got? I guess all these are gonna be Grand Champion Yellow Little, the JR Dog, STP Sassy. Let's see what she produced. Stone City's Jedi. That's the only one they got her down for. And then you got your Nico Dog. Another dog that made a change in history. Nico them dogs. And like I said, this is my opinion. Mayday was a great dog. But when you put the question up on the platform, this is the way I answer my version of the question when you ask it. I ain't gonna get up under your Facebook and talk about it. I'm gonna talk about it on my show. You know, I'll rather have Jocko offspring than Mayday. Bruce Banner in the building. Yeah, and see, Mr. Chavis, I'm gonna tell you, this is something I noticed now. We represent that yellow shit, but David Tant didn't breed that dog. Mr. Chavis bred that dog. You know, David Tant just campaigned him. Mr. Chavis bred him, but Mr. Chavis don't get the credit that he should get for putting his foot down in the game the way he did. We say Chavis, but we don't give him the credit like we give Mr. Boudreaux. You know, we don't give him the credit that we give Mr. Pat Patrick, or we give these other brothers. And Mr. Chavis, dog, did the more changing in history. You know, and he did it as an old man. Mr. Chavis was an old fella when he did these dogs. Way older than Tant. And I'm saying like this right here. I'm almost certain that David Tant still haven't reached the age of Mr. Chavis when he had these damn dogs. Mr. Chavis was an old man, slinging them big dogs around, making them breeders with them big dogs. Yellow John and Jocko, two of the most important dogs in pit bull history, especially when it comes to the Red Boy Jocko dogs. And anybody who, you know, if you're a Red Boy Jocko enthusiast, understand that Red Boy Jocko crosses were made before this breeding was made. Brothers had Red Boy Jocko dogs before this. You know, this dog right here is just the pillar, what they call the pillar of the Red Boy Jocko dogs, the representative of the Red Boy Jocko dogs. Once this cross was made, it certified them dogs as the shit. Production-wise, this dog here gave his genes down, and the genes just kept going, and the genes just kept going, and the genes just kept going off of this dog right here. You got dogs that got this shit in them heavy right now today that's still breeding, making good dogs because of this dog right here. And it comes from these two dogs, Yellow John and Jocko. For anybody that don't really know about the pits the way we be talking about them, when we say Red Boy Jocko, this is what we mean. Red Boy, you see his name right there, Red Boy, and Jocko. That's what we mean when we talk about this stuff for brothers that don't know about pit bulls, but you just like the conversation and stuff. Red Boy Jocko is two dog names. It ain't Rednose Jocko. It ain't Rednose Jocko. You know, it's Red Boy Jocko. And every red nose you see, every red nose you see is not Red Boy Jocko. Another thing that brothers will say when they just picked up a dog on the side of the road. Oh, I got a Red Boy Jocko. You know? But yeah, man. And big salute to the brother that be dropping them questions on Facebook. You know, you be having some great questions, just questions brothers could conversate about. Which one would you rather have? The Yellow Giant, I mean the Mayday, the Jocko. But if you heard Mr. Boudreaux act when Mr. Boudreaux was talking in that interview, on that little clip that I played the other day, when they asked Mr. Boudreaux would he rather breed to, I want to say Bully Son, and he said no, he breed to the one that made Bully Son. So, hey, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Let me read some of the comments in the chat with the brothers. Uncle Willie in the building. Showtime Kennels in the building. Champion Whitey Ford. Champion Whitey Ford, that Buddy Woods. Champion Whitey Ford. Is that the dog name, Showtime? Whitey Ford. Buddy Woods was off Bully Son. They said that nigga coming to the box with a white dog. Man, hey, I showed some champions the other day off that white stuff, man. Yes, sir, man. I seen some champions the other day I posted up. That was what that was coming off of. The cowboy stuff, I want to say. But yeah, man. Now I'm gonna be the first person to say this, and I'm tell you honest truth. We got I said this before. You gonna hear me. You done heard me say it already. We got an all white dog off of a champion fatty, little mate's sister, bred back to champion fatty. Because I told you we had his little mate. We had two of his little mate sisters. We bred one sister back to champion fatty, and got a white Rednose puppy off that. All white, no spots on it at all. I don't see no white dogs in this pedigree, but that white, it just happened. Maybe it was a defect or something. It didn't live long. It lived about it didn't even live to the point to get winged. But she came out all white with a red nose. And to this day, let me look him up before I say that. I know I had the first puppy that Crossroad Eric ever made off of his champion Crunch dog, which is Fatty Little Mate brother. Crossroads Crunch. Now that loss he got on this loss that he got, that's the same dog that I told you he gave my homeboy on the way home, but the dog died on the way home. Champion Crunch, which is Little Mate the Fatty. Now he got this dog right here as his offspring. Now I know this Queen Pin dog. I know this Queen Pin dog. That was my homeboy dog. But they got him right now. They got him up on the Crossroads. All right. Now mine didn't come off of Queen Pin and Crunch. Mine came off of Crunch, and when Eric sold me that dog, he said this was the only one that he had off of Crunch at the time. He ain't had no other puppies off of Crunch. And he sold me that one. My name was Carmega. She was a little buckskin short bitch. I had her since she was a hand puppy. And she became a full-grown dog. Pelican Bay's Carmega. I didn't have no pictures of her though. I don't remember who the mother was though, but I know it was off of the Crunch dog and whatever something else Crossroad bred. Let me talk about this real quick too. The Don Turtle dog. I used to like them dogs that came off of Don Turtle. I had several of these dogs right here directly off Don Turtle. Coming directly off this dog. I love them dogs because they was big. They weren't long like the yellow dogs, but they was big. And you talking about teeth in his head? Boy, that joker had teeth the size of your fingers. I ain't gonna lie to you. I had some off of that's what I had right there. They was off of the Don Turtle stuff and the Low Country Spur. Low Country Spur stuff. I see Low Country Danger and all that. I don't see the Spur up there. Let me type in and see what Low Country Spur coming down off of. I had several of those off Low Country Spur. That's Garrett's Taylor. I remember that Taylor. I remember that name being in the pedigree. Yep. And that's Don Turtle on the bottom side. So I had a good bit of these. I love them dogs, man. So I see now that I'm older and can analyze the pedigree better. I see why I had a Rascal in there. My Jeep was in there heavy. And that's why I always say, man, sometimes pride keeps brothers from making the best bulldogs ever, right? Pride to keep brothers from making the best bulldogs ever. Because Walk'em and Crossroad was no more than 5 miles living from each other, right? Different time. When Crossroad got out the game, he was staying no more than, I'm gonna say, he wasn't even 2 miles. And matter of fact, I was working for Walk'em one day, right? And I had a little problem. I had to go back to my car, but it wasn't gonna take me. They was still working on the job. I had a little problem. And we was working at was where Crossroad was living at when he got out the game. Not the same house, but the same neighborhood where Crossroad was living at. But I had to go back to my car, which I left at their house. So I'm gonna let you know how close this was. I walked back from the job site, I walked back to my car. You know, so it wasn't even no 5 miles. You know what I'm saying? Maybe about 1.5 miles, 2 miles maybe at the most. I don't even think it was 2 miles. Maybe 1.5 miles, if that. You know, so it's a shame that the brothers was that damn close and didn't breed these dogs together, man. You got dogs coming directly off Big John or directly off Yellow with the Big John stuff, and you crossed it back with Crossroads shit that's coming down off this stuff right here. Man, you know, you would have had some shit. Yeah, I like that Don Turtle stuff, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. So, and like I said, man, you know, I didn't have no boatload of champions throughout my history in the game back in the golden age. I didn't have no boatload of champions, but I did have these dogs. And shit, you know, I was trying to do my thing. You know what I'm saying? When it come to credentials and all that, I ain't got maybe champions that the next brother got. They say, oh, I got more champions than you or something like that. But I was out here. And I had real deal dogs when I was out here dealing with these brothers. You know? Like I said, it was a blessing that, and I didn't see it at the time, you know, because you don't pay attention. Mr. Crenshaw didn't know Jeep was going to be as famous as he was when he had Jeep. You know, Finley Bo was going to be as famous as he is when they had Bo. You know, it's later on down the line that you know all this stuff. So later on down the line, when I'm looking back on, I'm like, damn, boy, we had these dogs. Shit. Honey Bunch, Rascal, Honey Bunch, Otis, Honey Bunch. Man, damn, what? Like me and my homeboy say, man, we would have been breeding them dogs from back in the days. Boy, look at him. And I'm gonna say it like this. I deal with brothers from all sides of the country in modern day time, right? I don't see brothers with a whole lot of this stuff right here when it comes to the Jeep stuff. When we talking about Garrett's Tater and the Don Turtle stuff, I don't see a whole lot of it line bred, like how Walk'em line bred the Big John, Little John stuff. When I say that, you know, I don't see it. In order for me to see the Don Turtle stuff like this, I gotta go back to Crossroad Dogs. Garrett Taylor, Low Country Spur. Let me pull up another one that Crossroads had that I was gonna buy one time. Crossroads S&S and stole it. I was gonna buy that one time. That was off the Big Red Dog. Had the Lone's Weirdo in it, which is a Jeep dog. So we got one Jeep son, that Marlowe's Britches, two Jeep sons, three Jeep sons, three different sons off a Jeep in this pedigree that we can see right here without going any further back. This a Jeep son. This a Jeep daughter. Johnson's Revette, Jeep daughter. Archie said his boy had semen off Gas Taylor. He got himself something there, Archie. If he got some official semen off Gas Taylor, he got himself something. Yes, sir, he got himself something. Hey, Showtime, I always hear brothers say, you gotta gather you a little bit of rascal in there. You gotta have you a little bit of rascal in there, a little pinch of, a little spike of it or something. Have you a little bit of rascal in there. And so, brothers try to put that rascal in them. Everybody don't succeed with good dogs off of them. With not saying the rascal that make them good. They may not have been a good breeding that they made with the stuff. Champion britches. Brothers say show champion britches. Oh yeah. Now I know this a black dog. I know this a black dog. But only thing about that, we got too many dogs right here that them little posse dogs, all on the top, all on the bottom, all on the bottom. We don't know what color Susie Gal was. Now I can get my man up here that'll tell us what color Susie Gal was. And like I said before, the closer we get to Red Boy, you already know what the story is on that. This is just our follow along pedigree. This is our follow along pedigree, but it ain't as official. But nobody cares about Red Boy because his production was so high. That motherfucker might be part salamander, but he was producing. Let me see, can I pull up another picture of Britches? Yeah. And that's exactly why I also say them red and white dogs that everybody always see in black. Them Red Boy dogs, them Red Boy dogs, them Red Boy dogs. No, them ain't Red Boy dogs. They Bailey's Bingo dogs. They Red Boy dogs, they Red Boy dogs, bloodline wise, but they take them traits from Bailey's Bingo. Because the Red Boy dogs, they look all different kind of ways when it comes to his offspring. Red Boy didn't look like this. Red Boy had more red on him than white. He had them white markings all over him like this. And if you're a Bailey's Bingo, if you're a Bailey's Bingo dog, of course you're gonna be a Red Boy dog. But Bingo be getting skipped over a lot. And then we just scream out Red Boy, Red Boy, Red Boy. But Bingo was a hellified producer. Hellified producer. And that's another thing that tells you that's two of Red Boy dogs that we know was hellified producers. Yellow John, directly off Red Boy, hellified producer. Bailey's Bingo, directly off Red Boy, hellified producer. Then we go to Red Boy and look at some of the, see, if we look at this dog here, we'll never say he was Red Boy. Like the modern day brothers. You'd be like, oh, that's a Red Boy Jocko dog. Or that's a Bolio dog. Or that's a Pat Patrick dog. You know, you can't see his ears to say that. But you say he was Red Boy Jocko or something else. You wouldn't say he was Red Boy because we look at that red and white color as Red Boy dogs. Mr. Bulldog. A brother walk down the street with this dog right here, right out of day, you're going to say, oh, that's a Red Boy Jocko dog. You're not going to say, oh, that dog directly on Red Boy because of we too convenient seeing them red and white dogs and calling them Red Boy dogs. Let's look at Brandy Girl. Brindle. And that's, you know, that's coming down from your little posse side. In actuality, we don't know if you want to be speaking in reality wise, because what Red Boy situation is. The closer you get to Red Boy, the more questionable things get as far as colors wise. These are the dogs from the, you know, these are the dogs, you know, from Red Boy, directly off Red Boy. Let's look at Stompanato. I seen that name in the chat. Bingo side Red Boy. All right, let's look at Stompanato. Pull him up. That's a Carver's dog, right? That's that was Miss Patsy dog. Another great producing dog that we see in a lot of people pedigrees. Coming down off the Black Shine stuff. Tudor's Spike, Tudor's Crybaby. Now, somebody got why they got Bush's Eli instead of Mr. Boudreaux's Eli? And they got Bush's Eli made. See, this another whole pedigree right here. Let's look at this right here, right? They got Eli Jr. So we know this supposed to be Eli right here. All right. Mayfield's Cotton and Tudor's Crybaby. So I'm guessing they said Mr. Boudreaux got Eli from this brother. And this was a Mayfield dog. Mayfield's Little Cotton. They ain't got no picture of him. So y'all Eli brothers, what do y'all believe when it come to Eli? That Eli is off this dog or Eli is off the dog that they say he was off of? And he's actually not even a Mayfield bred dog, because Mayfield has got the dog coming down off of Langham's and Dolan's stuff, and Heinzel in the background. You see Heinzel back there. So this little cotton dog is not even a Mayfield bred dog. He just owned the dog. Tudor's Dabo in the 4th generation. Carver's Black Shine and Black Beauty. They ain't got no picture of Black Beauty. Stompanato. They just put this pedigree up in 2021. Should have been put up in 2001. 20 years later, they put this bullshit up there about Bush's Eli. This pedigree here definitely should have been up in 2001. Yes, sir. Showtime said he'd rather take the buckskin Eli dogs over the black ones. I'm gonna see if any of the Stompanato offspring that I know that I see them up here that I recognize their name. Let me just put up this Cadillac dog right here. Carver's Cadillac. Stompanato bred to his daughter. Mm. So who is Jack Carver's? Is Jack Carver Mari's brother or his cousin or something? Now I heard Mr. Boudreaux say himself about Brendy. Out of that litter that she came off of, she was the hardest biting one of them off that particular litter. He did say that on the little clips. He did say that. Yeah, I heard Mr. Young say Katie knew the truth. And I can believe Katie knew the truth when it come to the red boy dog. I can believe that. But like I said, she would know the truth about Tramp, which is Red Boy Daddy. She could know the truth about him. Because all of them fellas in that whole circle know the truth. But where Red Boy came from, he came off Tramp. Tramp was the dog unknown pedigree. So-called unknown pedigree. So we know Red Boy came off of Tramp, but we don't know who Tramp came off of. Like you say, Katie know, she should know the truth. But she said the Kobe and Trice stuff. But that's the same stuff that's on his pedigree, that they got on his pedigree when he coming down off the Tills Jeff stuff. I thought that was gonna lead me to some Red Boy stuff, but I guess it ain't. This is what Katie's saying this off of. Kobe and you know, the Trice stuff in the background. You know, so shit. So I don't know, man. Just know he produced some hellified dogs. Champion Ronnie. Look how Champion Ronnie bred. Ooh-wee. Red boy daughter bred the red boy. That's Bass Cat. Then that dog or daughter of that dog bred back the red boy. Then a daughter of that dog bred back the red boy. And got Champion Ronnie. Now, your average breeder will say, oh, that's too much. That's too much. But shit, man, these old schoolers did it. Look at it now. From the 4th generation. On the bottom side. Red boy, daughter to red boy, daughter of that back to red boy, daughter of that back to red boy. Let's check and see how Ronnie was bred to the dogs that he was bred. Now on this one, they ain't got Ronnie bred to the red. They got him bred to the Bolio, Maloney stuff Bolio, right there. On this particular dog. Let's check out the Goldilocks dog. Oh, they bred him back to Ronnie bred back to his daughter that had that Maloney and Bolio in it right there. Let me see what that macho dog came off of. Tombstone. So we had a Tombstone Bolio. This right here is a red boy Tombstone Bolio dog. Three-quarters red boy. Because, you know, you see Ronnie right here. This dog right here to be 50% Ronnie. It'll be fair to say Ronnie is as tight as red boy as you can get, just about. This dog 50% Ronnie at the bottom, bred back to Ronnie again. So it's going to be 75% Ronnie. And then you look how Ronnie bred with all that red boy through his whole pedigree. But then you got you some Tombstone Bolio down in the bottom side. Let me check out some of Mims dogs. See what Mr. Mims, see if I can find him in here first. And then I'm gonna just type his name in. Cause he pretty much ran our red boy stuff as well. Let me type his name in and see what come up for Mims. Let's go with the Judge dog first. Oh, that's Snooty. That's the Snooty stuff. That might don't have no red boy in it. And I always tell brothers to pay attention to your pedigree. Stop running behind the name. Mims is just the breeder name. That's the family of dogs. He had families of dogs, right? So I say, oh, I got you a pure Mims dog, top and bottom of Mims, and it's coming off this Mims dog. You thinking your Mims is red boy because you hear the name Mims. But you thinking it's Red Boy when it ain't got a bit of Red Boy in it. All snooty and different things over other bloodlines. Greenwood stuff, Maloney stuff at the bottom. That's the judge dog. Let me check out Spiffy. Before we look at that peg, y'all see that dog? Before we look at that peg, and it looked like it got Red Boy in it to me. I could be wrong, but it's off Dopey, so I know it got Red Boy in it. That's some tight Red Boy right there. That's some tight Red Boy right there. It ain't directly off Red Boy, but it's Red Boy through the whole pedigree. That's like I say, that's what you could call a Red Boy dog. Not when you got one time in the fourth generation, but when you got it this many times in the fourth generation. Then you got it in the third generation. Let me check out Mr. Cruz stuff. Let's go to Cruz Scooter. 2004, the pedigree was in it. The pedigree, he off Rocky. That's a male, female. She off Rocky. Straight Red Boy. I don't know if this dog got any Jocko in it at all. Let me check up this. I don't think this dog got no Jocko in it at all. Got some little passe in it. Back there in the back. Cruz Rocky 2. Cruz Big Ben. That's coming down off the Rocky dog. Heavy, heavy Rocky. I see quite a few brothers with the Denali dog in their pedigree. That's coming down off the Big Ben dog. Rocky all on top. Persons Butcher Boy on the bottom. Cottonham Sheba on the bottom as well. Hell on Earth Bumper. Burns Big Head. Now, I ain't going to tell you that Big Head story. It's either the Big Head story. Let's see, you got Walker Moss Red Dog right here. That's off Big Head and Red Girl. Showtime said he got 3 strings of Red Boy and 1 dog. Yeah, that's good when you take them different strains and put them in 1 dog. Let's see what the breeds that Tant was making. Let's go to Tant Solomon. Yeah, Yellow John. So this dog right here, Terrence Rocco, was bred just like Yellow. Not sure if it's off the same litter. Terrence Miss Rocket, bred just like Yellow. So Miss Yellow, Terrence Miss Yellow was a brother and sister breeding over the Grand Champion Yellow style breedings. Yellow John and Miss Jocko, Yellow John and Miss Jocko. Product was Miss Yellow. Then we got Champion Worlds, James A. Trying to see if I see any more. Grand Champion. The bottom side is a whole different. Some whole different. We got Chago's Wiggle right there. It's Boogeyman, dog. 4-time winner, 1-time loss. Bully Son, Eli, Snooty, Cotton's Bullet on the top with a Sad Sack dog right there. We talking Cotton's Bullet, Bully Son, and all them dogs, man. We talking back in the 80s, in the 70s. Snooty. Man, let me pull up Turtle Buster again. I looked up Turtle Buster several weeks ago, but I ain't stay on it long. Let me check it out again. Gaines Turtle Buster. Crush feels vicious. And that's that kingfish stuff. Heavy kingfish on the top side. Red Devil on the bottom. Not Tant's Red Devil, but Ross's Red Devil. Shout out to them Turtle Buster brothers out there. You know, it's another line that we don't really focus on from platform to platform. Turtle Buster dogs. Let me go into Crenshaw's Rascal Jr. and see what his best producing, most famous dogs in his pedigree for his offspring. Out of all these dogs right here, which one you think is the most famous? Snake Man's Pedro, Rascal Jr., Snake Man's Pedro. I know in everybody damn, not everybody, but a bunch of brothers' pedigrees. We just looked at that the other day because of the Eli stuff. Not the Rascal, but because of the Eli stuff. So y'all brothers better try to get, y'all Eli fans better try to get a line bred Rascal dog with Rascal all through the whole pedigree. Then you got Eli through the whole pedigree. If you got Rascal, or if you got Snake Man's Pedro rather, if you got Snake Man's Pedro through the whole pedigree, you got Eli through the whole pedigree. Y'all be saying Jeep is an Eli dog, but y'all don't be screaming about Snake Man's Pedro. That's your route. Them the dogs you need to be looking for, dogs like this. The Pedro dog and go into your stuff. Let me check out Pedro Jr. Oh, that's Carver on the bottom. Ain't no Eli on the bottom side. Carver on the bottom. Snake Man's Madge, Grand Champion, Snake Man's Rush. Snake Man had a bunch of champions and shit off that stuff. Snake Man knew what he was doing with them dogs. Got your Boomerang. Under your Eli. Johnson Zeb. What else coming down off of? That's Mo Carver's pistol and a little bit of Eli in it as well. So we got Eli on the bottom side and your Boomerang and your Carver dogs. Got your Snooty in there. Showtime say the triple out though in his pedigrees. Can I just type in triple out and it come up? Triple out or triple out red? Is that the one you talking about? Or is it a different one? That's Niggerino stuff right there. Which is gonna go back to your Eli as well. Crutchfield Art. Going back to your Eli. I don't think that dog looked like Eli though. I think he looked more like Art than Eli. Or Niggerino rather. He looked like the Niggerino stuff. You can look at him and kind of tell he a Niggerino dog. Okay, triple out red, that's a different dog. Let me go to the triple out red. I seen the triple out red. Right here. That was a red boy dog. Georgia's triple out red. Man, to any of the brothers that be down in the chat that don't really know how we be reading these pedigrees and how we know these pedigrees, you be wanting to have a question about a pedigree, just drop it down in the chat and we'll throw it up on the screen and we'll analyze it for you. You know, if I don't know it, one of the other brothers down in the chat, I know it or know something about it or know how they was producing back in the days or something like that. Let me pull up some of Mr. Mountain Man dogs. I guess that's the rascal stuff. And even though Homer lost the Jeep, right? He was being sought after for breedings. They was trying to breed to him. What they say that show went 3 hours or 4 hours, 3 or 4 hours. You gonna try to breed either one of them dogs, the loser or the winner. 1979, October 19th. I was, let me see, May, June, July, August, September, October. I was 6 months old when this dog right here was born. So me and this dog here the same age. I got him by 6 months, huh? Old Homer. Some badass dogs was born in 79. There's some badass dog, man. I talked to brothers like Mr. Buffalo Soldier, them brothers, and some of my old school brothers, them boys was bulldogging in 79. Grown men in 79. So the old rascal, the old Homer dog went for 3 hours and some change. No red boy in them. All Eli, Carver dogs. Was he not producing game dogs? Dogs that can go just the distance? Was it the keep that made him go that long? It's a lot of questions, man. Because we can say, oh, we want to breed a red boy for he producing dogs that want to stay down, dogs that's game. But look, the Homer dog, if he wasn't producing like himself, then that can be a reason that the dogs weren't going the distance. But just because a dog go 3 hours don't mean it was all him. You got a conditioner, you got a keeper. It's a team when you go out there. So that team, who Mr. Mountain Man got the dog right, he might be had him in the shape where he can do that. And it ain't the dog by himself when he go out there into these shows. So you just can't think you're gonna buy a red boy dog and be a half-ass dog, man, and you're gonna get something that's gonna go for a long time. Your shit might go 10 minutes, get curved out. Because it's a team effort back in the days. Homer Jr. And we already know that Walkmore had got some of that Homer stuff in their dogs way back in the days. So nobody wasn't gassed up off that loss. People was more impressed with that 3 or 4 hours that he went than, oh, he got beat. Well, he got beat. Well, 3 hours. Half your work shift. You're going to work for 9 hours. This motherfucker still fighting. Half your shift done over. Yeah, Archie, Homer that went into the Jeep and he lost the Jeep. But they had went for so long, and I heard Mr. Patrick talking on his yard tour video. He was talking about some of the dogs that he had off Homer. So he was breeding the Homer. His loss didn't stop the fact that people still wanted to breed to him. That ain't the right dog. Yeah, Ozzie Stevens and Homer. Yeah, you right, Nikolai. Yeah, you right. Stevens, let me pull that up. Let me pull that up. Wrong dog. Yeah, you right. I'm glad you caught that. I'm glad you caught that. That's the dog that went against Jeep for 3 hours. Now that's a dang on Dabo on the top fourth. La Passe, his pedigree and all that with famous dogs in it. Little Eli on the bottom side. Mayfield, Burton's Tiger. Off that Tudor stuff. Mayfield stuff. Lonzo's Andy, which would have been the Zebo brother. Okay, Mountain Man Homer, them boys say he'd get it over with fast. He looked like that Mountain Man Homer dog looked like he'd damn do some damage. Boy, I ain't gonna lie. He looked like he'd do some damage. I like the way his face looked, his snout. Got a kind of a beaky looking snout. And it could be because it might be swollen or something, because I see some marks on him, but I like the way his snout looked, that Mountain Man Homer dog. This picture that they got up here, this dog, he ain't, I mean, he look all right, but he don't look all that. If y'all seen this picture right here, and y'all didn't hear the story, but y'all seen Jeep, you'll say Jeep was going to go through this dog just by looking at him in the face right there. But looks can be deceiving. Looks can be deceiving. Damn. Archie said he knew somebody had a necklace off of Homer's teeth that he snatched out of other dogs doing the shows. So he was an old face dog. That's why his face looked like that. Yeah. What about them Saint Benedict dogs? The Dylan dog. I always wondered about them back in the days. What that is, Peterbilt, Riddick's Peterbilt, Boomerang on the bottom side, little Eli on the top side in the fourth right there. That Howard's Toby. Let's see what that's coming off of. Tudor's Red Bill, Dabo, Howard's Rose, Tudor's Spike, Dabo, Tudor's Dogs, Cannon's Black Shine, Tudor coming off Dabo as well. Lonzo's Andy down there. Brothers ain't preserved that Zebo like they supposed to have did it since back in the days. It ain't that Zebo ain't as deep as the other bloodlines is out there, like Bolio and your Jeep stuff and your Red Boy stuff. You ain't preserved that Zebo. You know, then we got dog seizures and all that type of stuff that happen. Throughout the days. Who the hell was damn Zebo owner? Champion Cash. Sometimes they look up Champion Cash. 357. Champion Cash. That ain't who you talking about right there. Is that who you talking about? Champion Strickland's Billy, champion Billy, Mount Man Homer, Hargrove Hopper Outlaw. That's directly off Finley Bow. Midnight Cowboy. So we know you got your Eli in there. Finley Bow. Got you some Colby stuff. Got your Rascal Mo Eli. So that Mount Man Homer dog was the way to get you some Eli without going through the if you didn't deal with Clemens, or it depends on where different brothers stayed at too as well. But this is the way to get you some Eli stuff through Mr. Mountain Man himself with the Homer dog. So that Eli would have been real. That Eli, that Eli really is popular in the Carolinas as well. We Red Boy Jocko country, but it's just as much Eli fans in the Carolinas as it is Red Boy Jocko fans. I probably split it down the middle, half and half. A lot of the Red Boy Jocko people was pumping their dogs around here from back in the days, but I'll probably split it down the middle, half and half, and say it's just as big as Eli crowd in the Carolinas as it is Red Boy Jocko. Yeah, Fat Bill and all them brothers, Garner and all them. Full Bite say Zebo produced a lot of cold hounds. I know who owns Zebo. I don't know why I'm asking, but I'm asking because I can't think of it right now, and I'm trying to pull it up. When you tell me who owned them, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember who had Zebo. Was it Adam Zebo? I think it's Adam Zebo. Yeah. He looked just like the Andy dog. Clemens, Clemens, nigga Toby dog right there. Let's see what Clemens bred, what a baby coming down off of. Clemens baby. That's Zebo on the top and the bottom with your bold stuff. But we don't got no offspring off of that particular dog on this database right here. Y'all bullshit. Clemens might be the way to get you some Zebo if you can find some heavy bred Clemens stuff off of that this Toby dog right here. Let's pull up Rockers. Showtime say Buck got Z-Boy in his fourth. I want to say I seen that. I guess I got to put STP in front of it. Yep, right at the bottom. And I'm going to tell you like this right here, right? You see what color STP Buck is. And you see Z-Boy in his fourth generation. STP Buck breed to a red boy Jocko female, you're not getting no black puppies. And you see all this bolio in here. You're not getting no black puppies with STP Buck breed to Miss Jocko. Or breed to any of them red boy Jocko females. Not gonna get no black puppy. And Z-Boy ain't that far away from the back. And we don't even, it might be some more black dogs in this fourth generation. Abraham's bull. Now that dog, they got some funny looking ears, don't it? Abraham's bull. I had a couple dogs off this dog right here. Not directly off of him, but in the pedigree, in the pedigree. Man, that's a hell of a breeding there, boy. Queen of Hearts bred the old grand Buck. That was a hell of a breeding. Man, who that dog look like? Queen of Hearts, color wise. Don't really look like Buck. I guess it look like Queen of Hearts color wise, black nose. Got a funny look to him though. Man, look like Abraham. I don't know. I could be just looking at the shoes wrong. Whoever holding the dog look like they got on some pumps right there, them Reebok pumps. That was the Reebok pumps was out like in 1991, somewhere around that era. Look like that's what he got on. If you look at the tongue, you can see the basketball right here. If I ain't mistaken, you know, it could be anything, but it looked like Reebok pumps. And D Brown, they came out when D Brown came out. A little bit before D Brown, because he wore them in the slam dunk contest. Yes, sir, man. I appreciate all y'all brothers rocking with me tonight, man. I just wanted to really talk about them black red-nosed dogs. We got to the bottom of that particular dog. You know, like I said, I had a brother that texted me earlier to say that he had a black dog off of 2 chocolate red noses. I always want to look at the pedigree of them dogs when they come off like that. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's far to none that you're going to get a black dog off 2 red dogs. You know, and it's always a situation where you got a bunch of black dogs in the pedigree and they throw off a red dog, and then you take that red dog and breed to another red dog, and you may get a black dog. You know, you may get one. But for the most part, we'll pull them up, pull the pedigrees up, and check them out. Man, y'all stay safe out there. Y'all stay legal out there. Remember where you got it from first. Your boy PBK. Pelican Bay's Corner, giving it to you fair and unbiased, raw and uncut. Appreciate all y'all down in the chat tonight, man. Y'all brothers have a safe night, and I'm out.